The story begins with Dr. Halton, a bright, ambitious psychiatrist fresh out of Stanford University, returning to his serene hometown of Mendocino, nestled along the banks of a river shrouded in myths and mystery. Dr. Halton plans to set up a hypnotherapy practice, hoping to utilize his modern education to assist the town's troubled residents. Initially, his sessions are straightforward, with patients seeking help for anxiety, phobias, and emotional trauma. However, as Dr. Halton digs deeper into his patients' subconscious minds, he begins noticing an unsettling pattern. Several townspeople recount eerily similar dreams of a woman standing by the riverbank, her figure veiled in mist, gazing mournfully into the water. Children report sightings of fleeting shadows along the river, while older residents speak in hushed tones about avoiding the river after dusk. Things take a darker turn when one of Dr. Halton's patients, Mr. Caldwell, a reclusive historian, confesses to hearing whispers near the river. His hypnotherapy session reveals vivid imagery of a tragedy, a ferry capsizing in the river, screams echoing, and figures struggling to stay afloat. Mr. Caldwell identifies these events as a local legend, but insists they feel unnervingly real during his dreams. Halton, initially skeptical of supernatural explanations, begins to experience his own haunting encounters. He hears faint voices during late-night walks by the river and feels an inexplicable chill while reviewing his patient notes. These experiences compel him to investigate further. Through extensive research, Dr. Halton uncovers the town's buried history. Decades ago, a tragic ferry accident claimed the lives of over 40 people, including several children. The townspeople, overwhelmed by grief and guilt, held a symbolic forgetting ceremony, intending to suppress their collective trauma. However, this suppression seemingly created a spiritual tether, binding the victims' souls to the river. Determined to free the spirits and bring closure to the town, Dr. Halton enlists the help of Evelyn, a local librarian and folklore expert, and Father Marcus, a retired priest with a history of conducting exorcisms. Together, they devise a plan to perform a remembrance ritual, which involves the townspeople acknowledging their ancestors' pain and guilt to release the trapped souls. As the townsfolk prepare for the ritual, tensions rise. Many are reluctant, fearing what might happen if the spirits are disturbed. Dr. Halton organizes group hypnotherapy sessions to help residents confront their suppressed memories. These sessions bring forth vivid flashbacks of the ferry disaster, with survivors recalling the horror of losing loved ones. The night of the ritual arrives, and the townspeople gather by the riverbank, holding candles and personal tokens of their lost ancestors, photographs, heirlooms, and letters. As they chant words of forgiveness and remembrance, the river begins to stir. Ethereal figures emerge from the mist, their faces pale and sorrowful. The spirits, initially menacing, soften as they hear the townspeople's confessions and heartfelt apologies. A particularly poignant moment occurs when an elderly woman, Mrs. Alden, recognizes one of the spirits as her long-lost sister. The emotional reunion sets off a chain reaction, with other spirits accepting the offerings and ascending into the sky. However, the ritual nearly fails when a skeptical local, Mr. Grayson, disrupts the ceremony, declaring it a sham. His outburst enrages the spirits, causing the river to swell and chaos to erupt. Dr. Halton bravely steps forward, offering himself as a mediator, urging the spirits to see the sincerity of the townspeople. His selfless act calms the storm, and the ritual concludes with the spirits disappearing into the night sky, leaving the river serene for the first time in decades. The film delves into the psychological impact of shared grief and how communities suppress painful memories to move forward. The river symbolizes the subconscious, holding both the town's forgotten past and its path to healing. The remembrance ritual highlights the importance of acknowledging past mistakes and seeking forgiveness as a path to emotional and spiritual liberation. Halton's journey represents the intersection of modern psychiatry and ancient spiritual practices. Initially a man of science, he learns to embrace the intangible aspects of human experience, bridging the gap between logic and belief. The film emphasizes how collective action and unity can overcome even the most haunting of challenges. By coming together, the townspeople are able to heal their shared wounds and find peace. Connor Floyd delivers a compelling performance as Dr. Halton, balancing his character's scientific skepticism with growing empathy for the supernatural. His emotional transformation is one of the film's highlights. Elena Savostakova as Evelyn provides a grounded perspective, while Scott Cooper, as Father Marcus, adds gravitas to the ritual scenes. Director Jules East masterfully combines atmospheric cinematography with a haunting musical score, creating a chilling yet emotionally resonant experience. The use of the river as a central motif, with its foggy banks and ominous currents, adds depth to the narrative. River of Ghosts is more than just a ghost story. It's a profound exploration of grief, memory, and the human need for closure. Through its gripping narrative and richly drawn characters, the film invites viewers to reflect on their own unresolved pasts and the power of forgiveness. The final scenes, where the town celebrates its newfound peace by the now tranquil river, serve as a powerful reminder that even the deepest wounds can heal when faced with courage and unity. This film is a must-watch for fans of thought-provoking thrillers that combine psychological depth with supernatural intrigue.